Lads. What was that? That was incredibly bad. That was one of the worst performances of the season. Not in regards to mistakes being made, not in regards to chance create. Well, yeah, chance creation. There was nothing there. That was awful. I hated watching that game. If it wasn't for the watch along that me, Hal, Bobby, Adam were all doing, I would have really been depressed after watching that game. That was awful. Now, like I've just said, I'm not saying it because we were like super poor. We lost the ball all the time. We made loads of mistakes. We didn't really make mistakes. We didn't try. We were nothing going forward. And I was saying at the start of the game, I'll just pop that up on screen. I was saying at the start of the game, we were actually on the front foot. We were looking to try and nick the ball off them, starting attacks. And I actually were like, oh, look at this. This is great. They were catches on the break, but I don't mind that. We did that in League One. We did that in the Championship. Teams caught us on the break because we went for it. And we're pretty much relegated. Now, it's not absolutely certain it is, but it's not absolutely certain. We are relegated. So what is the point in sitting 11 men behind the ball at one point in that first half? Like, at the start of the game, we kind of went for it. Like, they were catches on the break. We were having like two at the back or something like that. And I'm like, I said to Hal, I don't mind that. I don't want to see 5 defenders behind the ball at all times. It's boring. We don't want to watch that. We're down already. We've beaten Derby's points tally. We don't necessarily need any more points till the end of the season. We want some more points towards the end of the season, but I just want our team to go out there and give it a go. That's certainly not what we did today. It was not fun to watch in the slightest. Anyway, we started off, McGoldrick had a golden chance on the edge, well, probably just inside the 18-yard box. Ben Osborne fizzed the ball into him, took it really well down, and it's one of them things where McGoldrick just scores against all the top teams, and yeah, you might say that Arsenal aren't as big a team as they used to be. But that would have just been perfect for McGoldrick to score another goal against a big team. He's already scored against them at the Emirates. It would have been great to see him score another one. But he put it just wide. It was a pretty poor strike at the end because it didn't just go wide. It went quite a bit wide. And he really could have put that in the bottom corner. And I think if it had been on his right, he may have put that in the bottom of the corner. And we may be talking about a different game. It might have kind of sprung us into life and we might have got another goal. That's what happened with Chelsea last season, at the back end of the season. It was like, oh, we're in front. And then, again, another goal. And it would just, I don't know, it feels like a lifetime ago since we were beating teams like that at home or away or anywhere, really, for that matter. So McGoldrick put that one wide, and if you'd have told me at that point, I could have probably guessed, but if you'd have told me at that point that would be our best chance in the whole game and we wouldn't create a sausage, then I'd have been a bit gutted thinking about it because it's like, geez, we've got about 80 minutes left, 75 minutes left. Anyway, in that first half, Arsenal were the better team by far, took it to us. I think the only thing that we had really was Ollie Burke on the break, and that really didn't materialise at all today. So Lacazette Lacazette were brilliant today. Brilliant, absolutely class. Danny Ceballos was brilliant as well. And they're the two players that kind of interchanged in the lead up to Arsenal's first goal. A really nice flick from Danny Ceballos right into the feet of Lacazette. Bamboozled all our defence, one-on-one with Ramsdale. Just side-footed it into the corner. Ramsdale didn't have a chance to set himself. It was too close to him, really, for him to get down that low and try and make a good save. It went right in the corner. He had no chance. So that was 1-0 up for Arsenal. In the watch-along, we were trying to find ways of entertaining ourselves because the football certainly wasn't. We went into half-time 1-0 down. like I say, pretty poor. Nothing really to shout about other than McGoldrick putting it wide from the edge of the box. We came out in the second half and we were actually looking like we were taking it to them. It's like, yes, this is what we want to see. Even if we're not the best side in the Premier League, even if we may be the worst side in the Premier League, we want to see 100% effort from every single player. And we didn't get that in the first half. And the second half started, probably the first 5 minutes were all over the place. At one point, there were 4 men chasing the ball around. That's what we want to see. Now, I know Arsenal have got the players to just pass it around you, and they pretty much did. But if you put pressure on these sorts of players, yeah, you might get the ball passed around you and they're away. But what's the point in sitting off them? Because you're just going to get the ball passed around you anyway. Go for it. Put them under pressure. Try and create a bit of a mistake. And you never know. We might get onto a break and maybe score a goal. But that lasted the whole of about 5 minutes. And yeah, after that, it was just a matter of time. It came quite far into the second half, I believe. Martinelli, second goal. It all came from Lundstrom's horrific pass across the box. It was just lazy. He didn't look, and he just passed it straight to Lacazette. That is the player today that you did not want to pass it to. Anyway, so yeah, what I did like about was especially in that first half, was the fact that we were playing out from the back before they scored, and it happens quite a lot when the opposition team score against us this season. We just completely go into our shell. Everyone behind the ball, let them have the ball. Let's just protect this goal. And we just stopped playing football. And but we did play some nice football out from the back before they scored. And in the second half, we tried to do that as well. And I think that's where Lundstrom came unstuck. For me, I like to see teams play out from the back. But if you're not good enough and you're playing against teams and players that are better than you, playing out from the back is a disaster. And Lundstrom definitely did that. It were a poor pass from Lundstrom, straight into Lacazette's feet. Lacazette took it out of his feet, pushed it in front of himself, had a go. It was going into the corner. Ramsdale did make a good save, got his fingertips to it. And yeah, it just wasn't good enough, was it? It went straight to Martinelli just to tap in. And I think like most teams do, when they concede a goal, it's like, is someone offside? Someone offside? Both goals, they were miles onside. So it weren't even like we got something like that could save us. It was just poor. For both goals, we knew that they weren't offside because they were nowhere near. So that's another thing that you can't hold on to anything like that. So yeah, went 2-0 down. I'm not sure whether I want to talk about Mousse's shot, but I'll just talk about the third goal. I'm not sure which came first. But Ampadu just completely got caught out, didn't they? I'm not going to give Ampadu too much grief because I know Ampadu puts 100% effort in. I think he's one of the better players that we've got this season. Obviously, he's not our player. He's a Chelsea player. Hal asked me in the watch-along, would you take Ampadu next season? Absolutely. Yep, I would love to see Ampadu back in a Sheffield United kit next season, but I can't see it. I think Chelsea will loan him out to another lowly Premier League team next season, maybe a team that's just come up, or maybe someone who's established. It'd be nice for him to play in a team that aren't struggling. But yeah, it was really poor from Ampadu. He lost his kind of head a little bit, wasn't concentrating, and then a lovely ball was played through to Lacazette. I can't remember who it was for Arsenal, but it was a lovely ball through because Lacazette saw that Ampadu was the wrong side of him. And he just made a darting run. He's like, I want that ball there. And you don't see that a lot these days in the Premier League. A lovely ball through because defences are so much tighter than they used to be. And it's more about passing play rather than a lovely cut-through ball straight to a striker. But it just shows how poor we are, the fact that a ball can be played through from that far out and we get caught out. And Lacazette, full of confidence, smashes it past Ramsdale, sending him the wrong way. It was a lovely finish. And Lacazette was great. Really good. So really, you could say 2 goals and assists for Lacazette today. Fantastic. I'll talk about Mousse's shot now because that was a player with no confidence whatsoever. Gets it in such a great position right towards the end of the game. Side foots it, like almost slices it. He had so much time on his side. You either think, oh, he's going to smash this in the bottom corner, or he's going to try and curl it in the far corner. And no idea. No idea. Your guess is as good as mine. He tried to find that bottom corner. He somehow curled it the opposite way. I don't even know how he did it, so fair play to him. Fair play. One of the worst shots I've ever seen at Bramall Lane. Yeah, so shall we? Oh, McBurney got injured. Yeah, that's something to talk about, because at the time I was shouting at him because the ball was coming towards him and he barely moved. It's like, mate, just go and get that ball. But when you're watching players like Lundstrom doing nothing all game, you think everybody's like that. And it did look like McBurney wasn't trying at that point, but he was obviously injured. He went down a little bit later, and then he came off for Mousse. So yeah, let's run through the team quickly, because I don't really want to be doing this video. I want to be watching Line of Duty. It's on now, and I'm missing it. But yeah, we've got to do this. We've got to go through the motions and talk about this game. So first of all, let me just pop the team on screen so I can run through it. Aaron Ramsdale did okay. Can't really say anything else, can you? Because he's let 3 goals in. None of them were his fault. And he made an odd save or 2. But really, Arsenal had a lot of shots. But other than those 3 goals that they scored, I know 3 goals is a lot of goals to concede. Other than those 3 goals, there weren't really any time where I thought, oh, God, they're going to score. Saying that, I don't feel like that this season anyway, because we're already pretty much down. So I'm not going into games worried that they're going to score. I'm going into games just expecting that they're going to score, and we're going to lose, which is a horrendous thing to think, but it is what it is. Baldock was Baldock. He always puts 100% in. Can never, ever doubt him. Maybe his quality at times, his crossing. I don't know. I really like Baldock. I think he'll be great next season for us in the Championship. But you've also got another brilliant right wing back. You've got 2 really good right wing backs, and Bogle didn't even get a game today. So I'm looking forward to seeing both Baldock and Bogle next season. Who knows where they're both going to play, how they're going to fit in. But we need to get both of them into the side, because they both give 100%. They're both really good at what they do. Bogle more attacking, Baldock more defensive. They're both really good players. I really like them. And yeah, like I say, I hope that we find a place for them both. Ben Osborne, I want to say that Ben Osborne's played well, but I've got to say he played poorly, and not for the lack of trying. Ben Osborne was everywhere. Just feels like sometimes when he's got that ball, he's just nervous and he's trying too hard and he just loses it. Ben Osborne, sometimes his eyes cold and his passing is great, but then sometimes it's just, I think when he gets into advanced areas, he just gets really nervous and he doesn't know really what to do with it, because you don't really see him create many chances. He obviously got into a good area against Leeds and scored his goal, took his goal well, but he just gets scared around the box, and that's what I saw today from him. I thought he was poor on the ball, but he puts 100% in, and I can't really moan about a player that puts 110% effort in every game. I love the guy. I really, really like him. Move on to Ender Stevens. Just poor. Just really poor defensively. He's not a good defender. He's good going forward. He's a poor defender. He's always been a poor defender. And playing him at left centre-back where he doesn't get forward, it just exposes how bad he is defensively. Then we've got John Egan playing centre-back. The Rock, John Egan, I'm never going to blame him for anything, even if he makes a mistake. He is unbelievable, that kid. And I thought he was great today. I thought he had a really, really good game, despite us losing 3-0. I thought Stevens and, who I'm going to talk about now, Ampadu, were quite poor at times. Ampadu, it was definitely his fault for the third. I honestly just think that Arsenal played really well in attacking areas and took the chances really well. Fair play. What you can say is there were 2 mistakes. The first goal, no mistakes whatsoever. Second goal, Lundstrom, shocking pass. And third goal, Ampadu being out of position. So, yeah, Ampadu, poor. Fleck, non-existent. don't really remember seeing him touch the ball. Poor, really poor. Lundstrom, I'm not even going to talk about, because I could do a full video on talking about Lundstrom. Lundstrom, just not arsed, not bothered one little bit. And I can't wait for him not to be a Sheffield United player anymore. I don't think I've ever said that about any Sheffield United player, ever. I can't wait for him. And it's not because he's a poor player. We all know what he can do. We saw it last season. But, yeah, just shocking. Shocking. Can't wait for him to go. Norwood, non-existent. Didn't see his defensive qualities as much as we've seen this season. I think he's actually done well defensively this season. I think the only times that he's let himself down, he's dawdling on the ball. I think he's done that a lot this season. His pings have not been good enough. His crossings not been good enough this season. His corners, poor. Norwood, I think actually his defensive side's the only thing that he's done well, not well, done okay with. Everything else, the stuff that he's made his name for, especially at Bramall Lane, he's been poor at. So, yeah. Did say poor, like non-existent, shocking. Like not shocking. He's never that bad. Maybe other than the Southampton game, he was pretty bad. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Didsey. Really, really like Didsey. He just wasn't really in the game today after that shot that he had that went wide of the post. Ollie Burke tried. He tried and he tried. But yeah, he's just not good enough at professional football, as Hal would say. He's fast. He's extremely fast. He can't stay on his feet. And not because he's a diver, because he's just can't control his legs. They're that fast that his brain and his legs don't meet, and they're not like, shall we slow down a little bit so we don't fall over? But yeah, I think he didn't really hold the ball well, but I think at times he did okay, controlled the ball, brought plays into the game. But I think that's just because he's got such a low bar for how he's played this season. I think he's been very, very good at well, his pace has been great. You can't really say someone's an attribute is what they've done well, that he is fast. But he's also been really good at kind of charging defenders down, harrying them, making himself a nuisance. He's great at that. When the ball's at his feet, though, that's when he's not as good. Yeah, and then we move on to the players that came on. Brewster obviously came on, and just not a lot there, is it? It's not Brewster's fault. He just didn't have any time to kind of to do anything, and we weren't playing particularly well, so we weren't creating anything for him. We were having to come deep to try and start something. McBurney came on, got injured pretty quickly, so that brought Mousse on, which is our three subs. And Mousse was shocking. And that shot that he had was really, really poor. I could have done a better shot. I could have done a better shot than that. I could have attempted to curl the ball into a corner and not curled it the wrong way. Anyway, let's leave it there, guys. Actually, no, let's go into the comments. I'm sorry, I think I missed the comments last week. I'm going to have to get my glasses on for these so I'm not straining my eyes. Right, okay, Phil always has a lot of good things to say. Ramsdale wasn't great, suddenly trying to pass it out from the back all the time, just invite pressure on the point of doing it tonight. Yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, if you're getting told by the gaffer to play out from the back, you've got to do it. And that's what it looked like to me today, because we started out from the beginning, passing it out from the back to the defenders, passing it between the defenders to the midfield, back to the defenders, to the keeper, and out. And I like to see it, but when you're not very good at football and you're playing against a team a lot better than you, I don't want to see it. And I think that's what it was, trying to pass out from the back from Ramsdale, was because he's been told to do it. Don't think we should have let go of Wilder at least this season. Now, this don't really matter, does it? We're already down, so it don't really matter. Need to get rid of all the dead wood and free up wages. Ross, let me know who you think the dead wood is, because I think that's a good idea for another video, because I do agree. I think there's a lot of dead wood. Oh, there's a lot of dead wood. There's a few players that need to be moved on and need to be replaced by other players. I think that's it, really. I think if you give some of the players that were good before a new lease of life with competition coming in. I think that'd be great, and I think we'll get Fleck playing well. I think Stevens will come good at some point. There's no point moving him on. I think Enda Stevens in the Championship and the first year in the Premier League last season was probably our best left back we've had in my lifetime. It was just incredible. So you don't just lose that. So we need to get him back playing well. New style of football needed. I think it's got to be, hasn't it? Wilder's style of football was completely different to anyone ever. Like, no one's ever played overlapping centre-backs before and the way that we play. So, something's got to change, but who knows what it's going to be. McChicken, Moose Egg, love it. Love it. If you were in the watch-along, I salute you guys. It was such fun. And to say that we just watched our team lose 3-0 and we're having fun, it's just great. You think we should keep Sander? I don't think it's about us keeping Sander. I think it's about if we can keep him, because in the Championship he would rip it up, no problem at all. Keep Rammers, Egan, Bash, Baldock, Fleck, Bogle, Jock, Bruce, Adinti, Sharp, Osborne. Yeah, obviously I can't think of every single player that we've got off the top of my head, but I wouldn't get rid of any of those. You're absolutely right, mate. You're absolutely right. I would keep Stevens, 100%. I can't really think of anyone else that I would be that bothered about losing. I would like to see Ollie Burke in the Championship and see how good he is, because I think Ollie Burke could be incredible in the Championship when he's got a lot more time. He'll get more chances. I think Ollie Burke could be really good in the Championship. Are we down, Nick? Are we relegated? Is that it for us now? Well, we're not technically down, but we are down. Let's be honest. I think even if we won every single game from now to the end of the season, I still don't think we'll stay up because of other teams picking up points. Where is Jagielka going? I think Jagielka at the end of this season will retire. I don't think there's any more games for Jags to be playing as well. I think unless somebody gets injured, unless Egan gets injured, I can't see Jags playing another game for Sheffield United, which is quite sad because the last thing that he did was score an own goal, which is really sad because Jags has been such a great servant to the club. Which manager next year? It looks like it could be Alexander Blessing. That's what everyone's talking about. A few people have talked about Lampard, about John Terry, which is a really, really random one. But again, this is going to be one for another video, I reckon. So I think we should leave that one for now. I know we've already done one, but we might do one more nearer the time when the Prince is going to give the manager the job, because I can't see anyone coming in before the end of the season. It's just about how big a fee Berg will go for. He's got a release clause. Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice to get as much money as possible. It seems like Arsenal interested, Liverpool apparently interested. There's a few teams interested in Sander Berge. So I think he will go. We just need to get as much money for him as possible. Especially to think that Ramsdale's probably been our best. I wouldn't say best player of the season because he did have a poor first half of the season. But he's certainly been our player of 2021 up to now, I would say, definitely. Hit the like button. Yes, Kylan. 100%, mate. 100%. Deadwood, Sharp, hard to say. I disagree on that because I still think that Billy Sharp has got a lot to give, especially in the Championship. He's in the shape of his life, that kid. And he's never had that much pace anyway. So pace is not going to be a problem. I think as long as he can still find the back of the onion bag, we keep him 100%. Stevens, Deadwood, can't say that. Luncham's obviously going. Norwood, I can't say that either. I think Norwood's got a game to play next season in Championship. I think he's still got it. I just think it's difficult for him in the Premier League because it's a difficult league to play in. Moose, yeah, definitely got to go. Rodwell shouldn't have even been here this season. And yeah, you're probably right. There's probably a lot more people than that. I've seen stuff about Blessing, but who would be your first choice for manager? I would probably say Slaven Bilic, if I'm being honest. He's got the CV. I like the guy. He always speaks really, really well. I liked his style of football as well. So I would have liked to have seen Slaven Bilic, if I'm being honest. Dave Hockaday. There's a lot. Do you know what? There's a lot of great managers out there that really could step up to this role. Look at Chris Wilder. He was a nobody. Well, he wasn't a nobody, but you know what I mean? In the managerial world, he was, he'd only ever managed in League Two before. He obviously got Northampton promoted to League One, but he'd only ever managed in League Two. And look where he's taken us to the Premier League, and obviously had a very good season last season. He didn't mention McGoldrick in Keep and Go. Oh, McGoldrick doesn't go. No way. No way, no how. McGoldrick's been our best player this season for me. So, no, there's no way I want to see McGoldrick leave. You can't have someone, because I think he'll win player of the season. You can't have a player winning player of the season and then gone the next season, especially when you go down. Yeah, McGoldrick's got to stay. Yeah, James H., you're absolutely right, mate. 100%. It's really poor. It's really poor from him because he's gone from being one of the best left backs in the league for me to not even being our best left back, which is awful. 18 points from safety, really, really embarrassing. Yeah, said it again. Yeah, 18 points from safety. It's really poor. We are the second worst team to ever play in the Premier League as it stands at the moment. If we win, I think it's one more game, we won't be that. I think there's a couple of teams on 15 points, 17, 18 points. It'd be nice to get to 20, but I can't see it. That's 2 wins, and I can't even see us winning 1 game. Bring in Blessing, definitely not Terry. I love the fact that people are coming round to Alexander Blessing because we've done some research on the man and he sounds like he could be a brilliant asset to us. He works on shoestring budget, which is every owner wants to hear that. He brings through the youth. I would be excited now. Before I knew his name, I wouldn't have been, but now I feel really excited. Village is a great call. Thank you very much. Will Leeds do a Sheffield United next season? I can't see it, Justin. I honestly can't see it, mate. The way that you're playing, I think we've been very, very unlucky this season with injuries, with obviously no fans. Next season, fans will be back, and the Leeds fans are brilliant. I've got to be honest. The Leeds fans are brilliant. So I think you won't have a problem next season unless you have a huge amount of injuries or you have a bad start and then they get rid of Bielsa, which I can't see happening. I can't see Leeds having a problem next season. I think if we didn't have that injury to Jack O'Connell and Sander Berger, I think we'd have still definitely been in with the shout with staying up. Paul Warne, honestly, don't know a hell of a lot about Paul Warne, if I'm being honest, mate. But fair play. Keep Ramesh, Sharp, McGoldrick, Stevens, Jack O'Connell, Egan Baldock, McBurney, Bruce McBurney, Lowe. Oh God, that's 2 players that I don't want to see there next season. But I can't see us being able to sell McBurney, so McBurney will be there next season for me. I would love to see Wolves buy him because I think he's been poor, really, really poor this season and last season, for that fact. Don't worry, mate. You'll find a way to beat us, Spurs, mate. Arsenal fans said that as well. I can't see that in the slightest. I can't see us winning another game unless we kind of put a little run together where we actually play well, because we're just not creating any chances. So how we're supposed to win games unless we keep a clean sheet, we will not. We'll keep losing. We'll keep losing because we can't score. What's happened to Fleck this season? Fleck has had a tough time with his back because he's had a broken back for some of the season. I think it's a broken bone in his back. So Fleck has had a poor season, but I think that's because of this injury that he's had. I would rather see us not play Fleck for the rest of the season and try and get him back to full fitness for next season, because Fleck is brilliant. Fleck is a brilliant player, but I think he's really struggled this season for fitness because of his back. Where are we? Heckingbottom's tactics are shocking. I never like to see when you're losing 2 strikers coming off and 2 strikers coming on, because that's 2 players that need to just kind of start playing well, if you like, when they come on. You want 1 striker to be brought on to be playing with a player that's been playing for however many minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes, or bring on a striker and bring on an attacking midfielder. But we don't have any. Chris Wilder's fault. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I can see there's loads of people commenting, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But I'm going to have to leave it there. Bogle, player of the season. to say that he's only played half of it as well, I don't think you can give it to him. But I think he's probably been our biggest attacking threat, and he's been on the bench for however long. We need to keep him, and I can't wait to see him next season in the Championship. Would have loved you to stay up this season and Barnsley to come up by the playoffs, a Yorkshire Premier League. That would have been great. That would have been so good. We've never played in the Premier League with Barnsley, I don't think, and I would love that. But let's hope we don't go down and Barnsley go up, because that would be shocking. Osborne looked like he went to attacking mid for a bit. I don't know. I don't think he's very good in that position, if I'm being honest. Every cloud has a silver lining, no matter how big the cloud is. Yeah, that is true. And it is a hell of a big cloud. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for everyone being in this stream, even though it's been a shocking result today, as you can see on screen. Sheffield United 3. I wish. Sheffield United 0. Arsenal 3. I'm going to go and watch Line of Duty because I've been buzzing about it all day. Thank you, Arsenal for life. Good luck in the Championship. Not sure if that's a dig or if that's an actual good luck, but thank you very much. Really appreciate it, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the Sheffield United Way. We do some really good stuff, and yeah, we're going to need all the subscribers we're going to get, because we're going to be in the Championship next season. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.